Mandated reporters are not investigators. Your responsibility is not to build a case. It is not to interrogate your client until every detail is confirmed. It is not to decide whether someone is guilty. The clinician must recognize when the information received reaches the applicable reporting threshold and know the laws governing practice. Someone else investigates. Someone else determines what can be substantiated. The therapist has a different responsibility: to recognize, to assess, to document, to consult when appropriate, and, when required, to report. But there is another layer. What happens to the therapeutic relationship when the client realizes that what she thought was a private confession may result in a report? She may say, "I trusted you." She may become angry. She may become frightened. She may immediately begin minimizing what she told you. "I told you I didn't hit her. She wasn't sitting there that long. I was just angry. You don't understand what I'm dealing with." And the therapist may understand more than the client realizes. Understanding is not the same as agreeing. Compassion is not the same as looking away. Legal responsibility does not cancel therapeutic responsibility. If a report must be made, how the clinician holds the client through that moment is still clinical work. The therapist can acknowledge, "You sound exhausted. You have been carrying more than you feel able to manage. I hear how overwhelmed you are," and still say, "What you have described raises concerns about your mother's safety and care, and I need to respond to that." Both realities can exist at once. The clinician does not have to turn the client into a villain in order to protect someone vulnerable. That matters culturally too. For some families, caring for an aging parent is not simply an individual responsibility. It is family duty. It is loyalty. It is honor. Accepting outside assistance may carry shame. Placing an elder in someone else's care may be considered abandonment. Inviting an outside agency into the family may feel unthinkable. Cultural humility requires the therapist to understand those meanings. But cultural humility does not mean using culture to explain away harm. The clinician must be able to hold two truths. This family's values and experiences matter, and this vulnerable person's safety matters. Both can be true. And then there is one more person who needs examination: the therapist. What happens inside you as you hear this story? Do you immediately feel sympathy for the daughter because you know what caregiver exhaustion looks like? Do you find yourself thinking, "I can understand why she snapped"? Perhaps you have cared for an aging parent yourself. Perhaps you know what it feels like to be responsible for everyone. Could that experience cause you to minimize what you heard? Or perhaps the opposite happens. Maybe the story immediately makes you angry. Maybe you have personal experiences involving elder mistreatment. Maybe you find yourself judging the client before you have finished assessing what happened. Either reaction can influence clinical judgment. A differentiated therapist asks, "What belongs to this case, and what belongs to me?" The goal is not to eliminate your reactions. The goal is to recognize them before they begin making decisions for you. You are not the investigator. You are not the judge. You are not the rescuer. You are the clinician. Your responsibility is to listen closely enough to recognize when an ordinary story has become something more. To know the laws and ethical responsibilities governing your practice. To recognize your own reactions. To see the people who are not sitting in your therapy room. To protect the therapeutic relationship as much as possible. And to understand that there are moments when listening alone is no longer enough.